Hello, 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 everyone. Grand Rise, and I hope you guys are having a great Monday so far. Hey, Miss Dolores. Hello there. Lolita. Hello, hello, hello. Evangelist. Hello, hello. I hope you guys had an amazing weekend. I did. Hey, Robin. Hello there. How are you? Grand Rising, everyone. Please take a second to share if you can, and I would definitely appreciate it. We're going to be getting into the Asha Degree case today. I know I said I was going to do a pre-recording of it, but I felt like that I had more to add to this than just do a pre-recording show. Okay, especially since it's probably about to kick up for a whole trial that we're going to have to cover. So at least the first part can be live. Joanna, hello there. How are you? So that is what we're going to be covering today. If you haven't done so already, guys, we also have, hey, Elizabeth. Hello, hello, Donisha. Hello. If you haven't done so already, make sure that when the live is over, that you do set your reminders for the rest of the week as the shows have already been posted. Okay. Let me give you guys the lineup for this week. Of course, today is the Asha Degree story. And then we also have the Boston houseboat murders and and it's also a fire captain who also was killed. We're going to get into that case, a deep dive into the Aiden Manzano. So I also have received an email from one of the victims of that case. So we are going to dig a little deeper into things in which possibly hasn't been put out there to the media, like the victim's statement that was written to the judge. So that case will definitely be a nice show. And then we are also going to get into the Zizian cult. That cult actually was just arrested within the last couple of weeks, and they are attached to at least 6 different murders. So we're going to get into them this week as well. Now, a special announcement. I know a lot of you guys are in the group already, and I did speak very briefly last week about wanting to start some form of mission for mothers. Okay, and it's just going to be something where mothers who work hard every day, and y'all know how I am when it comes to holding women accountable. Okay. I'm okay with, us understanding that mental health definitely do happen and it does play a role in some cases, but we also have to be very much careful about handing out excuses for those that it does not apply to. So I did put together the Moms Over Motherhood mission, okay, which is going to continue to grow as we continue to add new members. There is a group available, but you have to apply to be a part of it. In order to be a part of it, you definitely have to be very much engaged. Do not become a member if you don't have the time. Do not become a member if when it's time for us to travel and do events together in order for us to kind of like make our message known and you're not available, do not apply. If you're not available to attend meetings, do not apply. And I'm not trying to sound too harsh, guys, but I need people on deck that are definitely available, but also available for the protection of our children. Okay. I do require that you have some form of understanding of the resources that is available to your state, as we will be creating a directory for each state, just in case we need to point some mothers to the right resources that are available to them. Okay. And you would basically be a person that I can contact to get a hold of some of the resources that are within your state. So if you become a member, the first step that you need to do is to begin to combine you a directory list of resources that are in your state or your city. Okay. And that will make it easier for us to work together. There is a group that will only be available to the members, in which we do work together to look deeper into cases, to report child abuse, to save our children and hold women accountable, especially those that are negligent in any way whatsoever. I know I can travel, but I would like to be a resource person. You can definitely be a resource person too. Even if you are not able to travel every single time, that's okay. But resources is good. If you're all hands on deck for resources, that is okay as well. As long as you're adding to the mission one way or other, you're okay. I know you're not going to be able to travel every single place or make every single meeting, but as long as your hand is on deck, that's what I'm okay with. Okay. So over the next couple of weeks, You guys will see me talking a little bit more about it, especially as we grow. I have already got a lot of inboxes about people who are interested in being a part of it. All you have to do is go to savageRoyalT.com and go to the moms overseeing motherhood. I'm sorry, moms overseeing motherhoods tab. In order for you to apply, make sure that you read the whole page so that you can know exactly what it is that you're signing up for. Okay. Hey, Lisa. Hello there. How are you? I'm late at the beginning. G gats to see you, Dolores, Lolita, Robin, and Elizabeth. Hey, Lisa. Hello, hello, hello. Alrighty, guys. So, have you guys heard about this Degree story? Because I've been watching it for a while now. Now, I knew about it prior to September because I did cover it back during that time. So I kind of know the nooks and the crannies of everything in regards to this. But I did know that when they searched the house, that it was about to get hectic. I knew that for a fact. And it was because when they searched the house, the first thing that we saw was a vehicle that actually fit the description of a witness from back in the day. So we're about to get into all the details of that. For those of you that watch me on the Beagle side of things, I will be coming to you guys today, where apparently there is a young woman, a young girl that is missing out of Toledo, Ohio. Okay. But her being missing has opened up a vault of exposing someone that is closely connected to her. And we're going to get into that today. Um, and it's kind of crazy. And we're also going to touch bases a little bit on the Asha Degree as well, okay, and read some of the documents. I'm going to read them slightly here, and then more so on Beagle side as well. All right, that's what we have going on today. Hey, Grandma T. Hey. All right, y'all. Let's get into today's deets. All righty. So this is Asha, okay, and she went missing years and years ago, and her case has always been very questionable. Many people began to point at her family. There was neighbors that were questioned. Truck drivers have actually, they say that they saw her. Some of her belongings were found, and it wasn't until late last year in September that things got to go crazy, when they searched the home of someone that lived in the area of Asia. That man being Roy Lee Dedmon. Okay. This man here and his family has been holding a big secret. And it looks like that the secret has been exposed. All right. So let's go over the main key players of this. This is Sarah. This is his daughter. Okay. Along with him. This is her here as well. Closer look. Lizzie Dedmon. Anna Lee Dedmon Ramirez. And this is the entire family. From left to right, you have Roy, Anna Lee, Lizzie, Sarah, and Connie. Okay. And this family looks very scary. And this family has been holding a secret in which everyone knew that they had something to do with the death of Asha. Okay. So let's get into the deets. Y'all gonna have to keep up because it's one of those deep dives, okay? So Asha Jaquilla Degree is her name. She was born August the 5th of 1990. The age of her disappearance was 9 years old. Her race is, of course, African American. She was 4'6", weighing approximately 60 to 75 pounds. So the clothing that was reported, so it was most consistent description mentioning a white shirt, white jeans, and white sneakers. Later reports also alleged that she packed a baseball uniform. Family photos had not been substantiated by firsthand sources. So there's a lot of things that has been thrown out there, but there has not been anything to prove those. And we're going to go over all of that. So throughout today's show, we're going to go over the things that has been proven and the things that was thrown out there without any significant evidence to follow up with it. Okay. The key figures. You have Harold Degree, who was the father. He worked as a dock leader. He is Asha's father. He worked at PPG Industries Incorporated in Shelby, typically on a second shift, ending around 11:30. You have Aquila Degree. She is the mother of Asha. She's employed at the Kauai American Lincolnton maintained the home and cared for the children of the household. O'Brien Degree, that is Asia's brother. He was 10 years old at the time, who shared a bedroom with her and later provided conflicting recollections of the events that happened the night in which she disappeared. You have Joanne Degree, who is the paternal grandmother. And then you have Keisha, who is an aunt, okay, who is on Harold's side, who is Asia's father. Media accounts vary regarding her identity, okay? So there, and that's because there was some people that said Keisha, and then you have some reports that say Alicia. So other relevant figures, you have Chad Wilson, who is Asia's base basketball coach, who noted her participation on the Pee Wee team and recalled her shy and well-behaved nature. Investigative persons, so Danny Ray Johnson and Donald Ferguson, two individuals initially investigated as potential sex offenders, and Baron Ramsey, a jailhouse informant whose account had been largely dismissed. So neighbors and community, the Turner family, whose property later yielded items possibly connected to Asia, and several truck drivers who reported sightings along Highway 18. Okay, so there were two highway truck drivers that actually said that they seen Asia. So here is the disputed and unsubstantiated evidence. So there is a claim that has been given out by multiple news sources back in 2010 that reported that Harold had left the house at around 11:30 p.m. on the night Asia had disappeared to buy Valentine's Day candy and returned 30 minutes later. So details in contention. So this detail has been reported by various outlets, all ultimately tracing back to the single segment that has been put on Wikipedia, which many people has been going towards to as well. Many people are getting information from Wikipedia and then combining them with information that is coming from the media. Okay. In an updated timeline, it only suggests that it's possible that Harold finished work around 11:30 p.m. and returned by midnight. No reliable firsthand accounts have confirmed that he stopped for candy at any time. Okay. So the heater theory. So there was a claim that some later reports that assert that Harold had stayed up late waiting for a heater to cool down. Details and contentions. So there is no firsthand evidence or documentation supporting this claim. It appears solely in later recountings without substantiation. Okay. So we're basically what we're doing here is putting out what was placed and what hasn't been proven. Okay. Packing of the family photos in basketball uniform. So the claim was that several sources later stated that Asia had packed family photos and her basketball uniform on the night that she vanished. So the details and contentions to that. First-hand reports consistently describe Asia's packed some clothing, a pencil, paper, her Tweety Bird purse, with no credible evidence confirming the inclusion of family photos. The mention of basketball uniform appears to in a couple of the later news articles that went out, but nothing that was supported by earlier interviews or official records. Okay. So the details and timelines of events and conflicting testimonies. So around February the 11th of 2000, Asia and her brother O'Brien had a day off from school, and they spent it with their aunt, who was referred to as Keisha, who lived across the street. They attended basketball practice at Falston Elementary School, where the coach, Chad Wilson, had recalled an ordinary practice with Asia interacting normally with her teammates. On the evening after practice, the siblings had returned home, and later that evening, Asia had attended a sleepover at her cousin's house, where more than a dozen cousins and family members had gathered to watch television into the late hours. On Saturday, February the 12th of 2000, on the afternoon, the entire Degree family had attended the game at the Burns Middle School. Asia, playing with her team, had fouled out and blamed herself for the team's narrow loss. Although initially upset, she soon resumed her normal behavior, cheering on her brother and engaging with her peers. On the evening after the game, the family had returned home, and Asia once again had went to a sleepover at her cousin's residence. On Sunday, February the 13th of 2000, on that morning, Asia's aunt and grandmother had took her, along with some cousins, to the Baptist church in Shelby. Witnesses also described her appearing to be cheerful and normal. Okay. Afternoon, the family had visited Harold's sister's home for lunch, where Asia had received a bag of Valentine's Day candy. The details later became intertwined with the contested accounts regarding Harold's activities that night. So this is where that candy from Harold had intertwined. Okay. So on the evening and the morning of February the 13th through the 14th, so the home environment and bedtime, conflicting accounts do exist. Some sources state that Asia had fell asleep on the couch around 6:30 p.m., still in her clothes, while others also indicate that she was put to bed around 8 o'clock or 8:30. The time of the reported power outage is, of course, disputed. So this is definitely one of those cases, guys, where there's a lot of different, over the years, okay? There has been a lot of different stories, a lot of different ins and outs, okay? And it seems as if people that are closely connected to Asia and the surrounding areas, whether it be family, whether it be friends, whether it be neighbors, whoever, their stories kind of assisted in the family, the Dedmons, being able to cover up their story. And I don't think it was done purposely at all. I just think when emotions and a missing person comes into play, and you're thinking about timelines and you're thinking about what was happening during that time or that day, it may mess up and misconstrue and cause some misinterpretations of things. And that's one of the things that played a role in her disappearance. Things just not making sense. There's some parts, even in the early on times of her going missing, where many people began to blame her family because last thing people knew was she was at home. And then you have the contradicting stories of what time did the dad, did he stay up for the heater or did he go out? So many people begin to point at the family at some point, which is unfortunate because imagine, your child is missing and then you become a, you're getting fingers pointed at you simply because evidence is not being placed the way that it should, or misinterpretation of timelines and what she had on, and did she pack photos, and did she go to this person's house, and all these different things had led the family to become suspects at some point in time. Okay, let's proceed into the rest of the timeline. So, the home environment, the conflicting accounts exist. Some sources state that Asia had fell asleep on the couch around 6:30 p.m., still in her clothes, while others indicate that she was put to bed around 8 o'clock, 8:30. The timing of the reported power outage is disputed, with accounts ranging from 7 o'clock p.m. to around 10 o'clock p.m. Harold's whereabouts. So Harold is consistently reported to have been at work until 11:30 p.m. One narrative suggested he may have briefly left for a candy run, though that remains to be unverified. He later checked on the children around 12:30 a.m. and again at 2:30 a.m., finding both to be asleep. O'Brien's recollection. So some testimonies also indicate that O'Brien had heard a squeaking sound from Asia's bed after the 2:30 a.m. check that was done by Harold. Okay. And he interpreted that as she was moving or getting up out of her bed, while other accounts also claim that he saw her in her room or leaving for the bathroom. These details vary among sources. Okay. So on Monday, February the 14th of 2000, the morning of the disappearance, early morning discovery at approximately 6:15 a.m., Aquila prepared to wake the children up for school. She discovered that while O'Brien was asleep, Asia was missing from her bedroom. A thorough search of the house, including closets in the family car, had yielded no evidence of force of entry or struggle. Harold was contacted, and around 6:39 a.m., a 911 call was then placed. So, Highway 18 witness Jeff Rubeck, he's a trucker. He reported seeing a young girl resembling Asia walking along Highway 18 at around 4 o'clock a.m. When he approached, she disappeared into the woods. Okay. Then you have Roy Blanton and his son. Shortly thereafter, they reported observing a very small figure in a light colored clothing on the road using their CB radio to alert others. Okay. Now, something that is also reported by the FBI is that, give me 1 second. This vehicle here, okay? Um, there was people that seen this vehicle in relation to her as well, okay? Where a tipster said that they may have seen Asia getting into a green colored 1970s model Ford Thunderbird, okay, or Lincoln, around the time in which she disappeared. And we're going to get into where they located that car at momentarily. So the intensive search and recovery of the evidence. So the Turner family property. So law enforcement had enlisted the help of the Turner family, the neighbors that was residing about 1.5 miles from the Degree home. Okay. So in seldom use, there was a shed on the property where the search did also recover some things. A wallet-sized photograph of a young girl, candy wrappers matching the Valentine's Day candy that Asia had received, a yellow hair bow, a pen, a pencil inscribed with Atlanta. So, a possible reference to a family reunion in which the family had attended. The chicken shed was not easily accessible. It was about 1,600 feet, 600 feet from the roadway, located uphill and separated by a 3-foot deep gully, raising significant questions about whether Asia could have reached it on her own. Now, keep in mind that this shed is not far. Okay, a lot of people don't are they're missing out on the fact that this shed is closer than what they believe. Okay, it's very accessible to all of these families that are in this neighborhood. It is not far at all. Okay, and if you actually pull up one of the addresses that was searched, that you can actually see the shed literally not far away from the home, and you can literally see it in the same screen. So it's not like you have to travel far to even get to this shed. So it's very likely that someone either took her there, or she was left or placed her belongings there at some point in time. Yes, a shed. Yes, ma'am. Give me 1 second. One second, guys, because I believe that we have. I thought I had pulled a picture of it. One moment. I think I forgot to add it here. If not, I'll pull it up in momentarily. We'll pull it up momentarily. Alrighty. So the discovery of Asia's book bag. Around August of 2001, a construction worker in Burke County had found Asia black and beige book bag on Highway 18 near Morganton, roughly 30 miles from Shelby, wrapped in 2 sealed black plastic garbage bags. The bag had contained clothing in a pencil case. Later examined and identified a New Kids on the Block concert t-shirt and a Dr. Seuss book. Okay, so this here, give me 1 second, is what was discovered in 2001. Okay, this was about 30 miles from where she went missing. Now, you think about how long they were still finding her stuff, guys. It looks like it was scattered here and there in attempts to kind of like throw people off or hide it. Okay. So, DNA evidence was also collected from various items within the bag, a pivotal development that later reshaped the investigation. So, in 2024, in September, there was a new search warrant where there was DNA evidence and suspected allegations as well that was found with the Dedmons. So law enforcement included the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office, the FBI, the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigations had executed multiple search warrants at properties tied to the Dedmon family. Roy Dedmon, his home was at 621 Cherryville Road in Shelby. This property is located fewer than 4 miles from Asia's last known location. Housed 29 vehicles that was registered in the Dedmon name. including 3 green vehicles and 1 red truck. An older green vehicle later identified as an AMC Rambler, resembling the witness description of the vehicle seen pulling Asia into it. Additionally, multiple digital devices and computer laptops, cell phones, tablets, flash drives, SD cards, CDs, and records were also seized, along with a human tooth in a plastic bag. DNA samples was also taken from Roy Dedmon. So remember the green vehicle that I showed you? Okay? That is the Dedmon's residence. Well, they had located this vehicle. Okay? This here is a picture that was put out years ago. This here is what they found in his home, at his home on one of his residents in 2024. So this vehicle has been hidden on this property for years. It makes you wonder, what type of investigation did you guys do back then in 2020? Because the vehicle was right there in your face. It was right there. I remember watching it when it was happening live. It had so much dust on it. It's like they never took the thing out of there and he had it covered up. And it collected all this dust from all these years of her going missing. And it looks like that they parked it there and left it there, never to be looked at, checked, or nothing. The biggest evidence is sitting right there on their property. They had this vehicle for years, sitting there. Sitting there. So Northbrook Rest Home in Vale, an assisted living facility that is owned by Roy and Connie Dedmon, was also searched. Dedmon Ramirez home in Charlotte, which was a BlackBerry cell phone, was seized from this location as well. A DNA piece of evidence was taken. So a hair stem taken from Asia's undershirt produced DNA that matched that of Anna Lee Dedmon, who was 13 at the time, as well as DNA from a man named Russell Underhill, associated with the Dedmon family. Underhill, who resided at Dedmon operated facilities, had died in 2004. So suspect's name. So investigators now assert that the Dedmon family is in fact deeply connected to the disappearance and murder of Asha Degree. Okay? They have now considered her death to be an official homicide. Okay? They are now implicating Roy Dedmon, Connie Dedmon, and 3 of their daughters have all been named as suspects. The evidence suggests that the adult assistance was required to commit and conceal the crime, pointed towards homicide rather than a voluntary disappearance. So you also have an alleged omission that has come out of this warrant and this search. So new documents also include startling allegations that current suspect that Lizzie Dedmon, okay, had admitted to killing Asha Degree. One second. This one here. Now, from my understanding, Asha and Lizzie, they were friends and they were known to go and play with each other, go to houses together. And so their families knew each other. So they wasn't strangers at all. Okay. So let's read. We're going to get into the text messages, okay, as well today. So in September of 2024, a man who frequented parties with the Fosters and her sister Sarah Dedmon Capel in the mid 2000s had claimed that at one party, Foster was seen sobbing and stated that she killed Asha. According to this witness, Sarah had responded angrily and telling Foster to shut up. Polygraph and text evidence. So the witness had passed a polygraph test regarding his statement. When investigators had approached Foster about a polygraph, she had then refused. and in subsequent polygraphs, she was found to have been deceptive. Additionally, text messages from Foster's cell phone exchange with her sister, Sarah Dedmon, and Anna Lee, and with her ex husband, contained chilling language suggesting that she caused this and hinted that investigators believed that she might be responsible. Additional seizures of the vehicle additional seizures in vehicle evidence. So law enforcement had towed the dark green old model vehicle matching the witness description that was seized from Roy Dedmon's property. This vehicle aligns with the earlier FBI leads describing a dark green 1970s Lincoln Continental or a Ford Thunderbird. Okay? So let's get into this text message evidence so we can see exactly how this conversation went. Okay. Hold on, guys. I don't know why this thing done move my documents over. Okay. Alrighty. So we're gonna move down to all right. So the statement of probable cause on February the 14th of 2000, a 9-year-old, and this is reading directly from the docs, okay? On February the 14th of 2000, 9-year-old Asha Degree went missing from her home in Shelby, North Carolina. Asha Degree was seen by drivers walking along North Carolina Highway 18 in Shelby, North Carolina. Asha Degree was seen being pulled into a 1970s green Lincoln Thunderbird. Point two, the search for Asha had continued for approximately 2 weeks after she was reported missing, which included searches that utilized tracking in HRD, which is human remains detection, canines, horses, ATVs, dive teams, aerial searches, neighborhood canvasses, and interviews, which included law enforcement and multiple community members and volunteers. All efforts during this 2 week search had concluded with negative results of finding Asha. On August the 2nd of 2001, evidence belonging to Asha was located in Burke County, North Carolina, on the side of the Highway 18, approximately 21 miles north of where Asha was last seen. A construction crew working in the area had located the evidence and double bagged in that was double bagged in black garbage bags and turned it over to the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. So numerous items of evidence was collected. Various items of evidence was sent for analysis. Two of those items were returned for with results. There also was two samples for individuals. One sample belonging to Russell Bradley Underhill, and another sample belonging to a hereditary family member of suspects Roy Lee Dedmon and Connie Elliott Dedmon. Investigators did determine that Russell Bradley Underhill had lived in at least two facilities operated by Roy Lee Dedmon and Connie Elliott Dedmon during the time Asha Degree was reported missing. Russell Bradley Underhill was discovered to be deceased in Lincoln County in 2004. Roy Lee Dedmon and Connie Elliott Dedmon shared three children in common, identified as Lizzie, Sarah, and Anna. The oldest daughter, Lizzie Grace Dedmon, resides in Texas. The middle daughter, Sarah, resides in Shelby, North Carolina, and the youngest daughter, Anna, resides in Charlotte, North Carolina. There was DNA evidence that was taken that indicates the likelihood that a hair stem sample from Asha Degree's undershirt is a person that is genetically identical to the DNA standard collector from Anna Lee Victoria Dedmon Ramirez. Okay, so her DNA was actually found to be connected to and kind of pulled in to helping them to connect the Dedmon family. Suspects Roy Lee Dedmon and spouse Connie currently reside at separate residents from one another. Records indicate that Roy Lee Dedmon and Connie Elliott Dedmon owned and resided a property located at 601 Cherry Hill Road. Okay. Now, let's get into the text message of it all. So on 9/18 of 2024, Mr. Thad Mellentine came to the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office for an interview with investigators regarding Asha Degree's case. Mr. Mellentine had stated that around the mid 2000s, he was in his 20s and occasionally frequented bars and house parties with the Deadman girls. Mr. Mellentine recalled at the time where he was at a house party with Lizzie and Sarah Dedmon when he had observed Lizzie sobbing and bawling while being extremely intoxicated. Mr. Mellentine further stated that Lizzie had made several statements admitting to killing Asha. Specifically, Mr. Mellentine also stated that Asha said, "I killed Asha Degree." One significant element that Mr. Mellentine also recalls was how, upon hearing this statement by Lizzie, her sister Sarah had came up and became angry and told Lizzie to shut the F up while she grabbed her head. Mr. Mellentine had stated that this behavior by Sarah had caught him off guard and was not a behavior that he had seen before and normally recalled Sarah as being calm and nice. Mr. Mellentine also stated that later that he was confident in his memory and how he was 100% positive in those moments of what he remembers. Mr. Mellentine later passed a polygraph test to verify the information that was given on Lizzie and Sarah. On October the 22nd of 2024, investigator C. Weaver have received the iCloud search warrant and the results for Lizzie Grace Foster's iCloud account, which included several iMessages. Messages of interest are listed below. On September the 10th of 2024, here's the text messages, and let's let you guys know that this family has been holding this secret for so long. Okay? Why didn't she turn herself in? Because she was going to be going, if she turned herself in, the entire family would have had to turn themselves in. But the demon that was in her was eating her up alive about what she did. And on a drunken night, it got the best of her. On a drunken night, it got the best of her, and she couldn't hold it in no more. That's what happened. And she knew, and that's why her sister said, "Shut up." Because if she would have spoke and someone heard her, she doesn't just go down. The Deadmons as a whole goes down. Why? Because every single Deadman knew what happened. And every single Deadman played a role in concealing this crime and murder. That's why she couldn't say anything. She was about to explode. When I say that liquor can do good or it can do bad. And sometimes they say that what would it say? A drunk mind speaks the sober truth. That's what this did today. Me, in this case here, back there, back in the day, the drunk mind spoke the sober truth, and that demon was buzzing away. And because she ran her mouth in front of the wrong people, here you are, your whole family. Imagine knowing that your whole family is about to go down for a murder that happened 20 years ago. Entire family. So, who's going to get you guys kids when y'all go to jail? Because grandma's going to jail, granddaddy's going to jail, mama's going to jail, auntie's going to jail. So, who's going to get the kids in the Dedmon family? Because all of you guys have whole responsibility to the death and disappearance of Asha Degree. All of y'all. Talk about a family secret. Talk about a family secret. This is crazy. Let's get into these these texts. I'm gonna tell you now, be alarmed because you're about to, you're about to listen to some things. Alrighty. So on September the 10th of 2024, at 14:48 hours, incoming call from Annalie Dedmon. 14:53, text from Annalie Dedmon. I am so sorry. I just said all of that. 14:53 hours, text from Annalie Dedmon. I'm just in a complete shock. 14:54, text from Annalie Dedmon to Lizzie. It's okay. I'm leaving school. Over the next day, there are several messages between Lizzie Foster and Annalie Dedmon and Sarah Capel in reference to being approached by law enforcement about this investigation. So apparently, let me tell you guys what happened before we concede into the next day. The next text. Let me tell y'all what happened. You guys have been keeping this secret so long and talking about it behind closed doors that you got really comfortable with doing it that you forgot that when they began to investigate you guys in September of 2024, you guys began to text each other. Imagine your text messages from 2024 catching you up on a secret over 20 years long. And it's because you guys have been so accustomed to holding this secret that you forgot that your text messages can be recovered. You forgot that a warrant can be for your device handed over. You forgot that if you attempted to delete anything, it doesn't matter because they can recover it. But because you guys were so accustomed to hiding a secret, you really thought that you were going to be able to get away with this again for 20 more years. That's how comfortable you guys were in this secret. That's how comfortable they got sloppy. You got sloppy. That's what happened. Yeah, you got sloppy. And it's okay because we're here now. So on September the 10th of 2024 at 1644, text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie. They think it's our shirt. It's not her. They think it's our shirt. It's not her shirt. For a 1646 text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. Her mom said it wasn't hers. 1646 text from Sarah to Lizzie. I don't remember that shirt. I'm scared though. Dad is probably going to be a huge suspect. 1701 hours text from Sarah to Lizzie. Lizzie, can you talk? September the 11th, 2024 at 12. This is 12 a.m. You in the morning, can't sleep. So you got a text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie. This is a nightmare. I'm like shaking and can't walk now either. 0837 hours, early in the morning, up again, incoming text from Kelly Foster, Lizzie Foster's ex-husband. I'm sorry, you and your family is going through this right now, especially Anna and your mom. Just horrible. 13:59 hours, text from Annalie Dedmon. Lizzie, you don't need to be talking to anyone. I'm at the lawyer's office. I'm at the lawyer's office. This don't know what that this meant. So 1401 text from Annalie Dedmon to Lizzie. Now they advise that we should not talk to them without representation. 1655 hours text from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. This is going to get nothing but worse. I'm talking to my doctor at 5 to get something for my nerves. Oh, I bet you are. So 1656 hours text from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. I'm so worried. So worried. 1657 hours text from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. It's a nightmare. They're going to keep getting worse. I can see nothing good happening anytime soon. And I'm an optimist. 1735 hours. Text from Kelly Foster to Lizzie Foster, I'm sorry. Oh no. I hate if for y'all. I hate if for y'all. Okay. 1735 hours. Text from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. There is no way that this is going to be okay. September the 12th of 2024 at 1814 hours. This is 6 p.m. for those that don't know military. So Lizzie Foster to Sarah Capel. I just talked to David Teddy. The theory is I did it. Accident, covered it up. 1814 hours. Sarah Capel to Lizzie. No. Why would it be you? 1814 from Lizzie Foster to Sarah Capel. That's what he said. 1829 hours. Text from Lizzie Grace to Kelly Foster. I don't know if I can go to work tomorrow. I wanted to originally. Stressed out, huh? So 1831 hours. Incoming call from Lizzie Dedmon. 1837 text from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. I feel horrible. 1837 from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. So horrible. 1837 hours. Text message from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. I don't know what to do. I caused this. 1838 hours. Text from Kelly Foster to Lizzie Foster. No, you didn't. 18:39 text from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. I don't know if I can see V. V as in Vivian, which is her and Kelly's daughter. So 18:39 text from Kelly Foster to Lizzie Foster. No way. 18:39 text from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what I'm doing or feeling. I guess KM is in shock. 18:40 text from Lizzie Foster to Kelly Foster. I just feel weird. 18:49 text from Kelly Foster to Lizzie Foster. Any theory that involves his kids is a ridiculous one. 18:51 incoming call from Sarah Capel. 18:53 incoming call from Kelly Foster. 1900 incoming call from Roy Dedmon. 1934 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah Foster. Hey. 1934 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah Capel. Is everybody mad at me? 1935 text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. Nobody is, Lizzie. 1935 text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. This is not your fault. On September the 28th of 2024, Lizzie Foster was reapproached in Texas by Lieutenant Daniel Howell, and she refused to speak to the investigators. On September the 29th of 2024 at 17:09 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah Capel. I'm just so anxious about what's going on behind the scenes. 17:09 text from Lizzie Foster and Sarah Capel. What are they doing now? 17:09 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah Capel. What's going to happen to me since I wouldn't talk to them? 1700 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah Capel. I'm afraid it's going to get worse. Well, he told me it's going to. 17:10 text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. I know, girl. I'm a disaster. 17:10 text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. I think if they came at you again, you just go and be compliant. 17:10 text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. That's what I'm planning on doing. 17:10 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah Capel. I think so too. 17:10 Lizzie to Sarah. Honestly, 17:11 text from Lizzie to Sarah. I mean, I want to do what Dad says. 17:11 Lizzie Foster to Sarah. But damn. 17:11 text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. And maybe we should have let you do what you originally wanted to do. 17:11 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah. I don't know. I really don't know. 17:11 text from Sarah Capel to to Lizzie Foster, I'm sorry. Right. You don't want something you don't want something we do or say impact him. But we also can't be living like this either. 17:11 text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie. I mean, I told him that I'm not going to do that. 17:11 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah. Right. Oh, you did? 17:12 Lizzie to Sarah. What did he say? 17:12 Sarah to Lizzie. It's not worth our mental health. 17:12 from Lizzie to Sarah. Right. 17:12 text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. He was like, I will call Teddy. We will go get a polygraph with honest people. 17:12 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah Capel. Oh, okay. 17 hours text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. I just really don't have it in me to go through what you have been going through. 17:12 text from Lizzie Foster to Sarah. It's been hell. 17:13 from Sarah to Lizzie. Just hearing about your situation has made me a disaster hearing about it. 17:13 from Lizzie to Sarah. Oh, I'm sorry. Text from Sarah Capel to Lizzie Foster. I just can't imagine going through that. 17:13 from Lizzie Foster to Sarah Capel. But y'all dealt with other stuff, but I haven't. On September the 27th, Lieutenant Daniel Howell had reapproached Lizzie in Highland Park Middle School. When approached When approached, Lizzie had seemed surprised to see him there. When Lieutenant Daniel Howell had said that he had new information, Lizzie had initially agreed to meet with him that day to talk about this new information. Then Lieutenant Daniel Howell had received a text message from Lizzie who said that she did not have anything additional to say to him and refused to speak any further. Then Lieutenant Daniel Howell had approached her in person. He told Lizzie what Malentine had told investigators. Lieutenant Daniel Howell then offered her a polygraph test based on information that she refused a polygraph test and she needed to make some phone calls. Lizzie went to make phone calls and reassured Daniel Hallwell that she will not take a polygraph test. Lieutenant Daniel Hallwell had asked who she called, and she said that she talked to her ex-husband, Kelly Foster. Lieutenant Daniel Hallwell had attempted to approach Kelly Foster at his residence on September the 28th of 2024. When approached the house, he saw a little girl in the window, but no one would come to the door. On February the 10th of 2025, Hallwell had approached Lizzie Grace Foster. She became very emotional and agreed to take a polygraph test. Lizzie Foster was asked whether she was concealing information and was found to be deceptive. Also during the interview, Lizzie Foster made a statement. If my dad did it, he did it, but I had nothing to do with it. The IMEI of this device is known due to the return of the Apple accounts returning to Roy Lee Dedmon. Mr. Dedmon did not back up his iCloud messages, so the contents are unknown. So, Lizzie, did you have her killed and your dad did it? You, ma'am. You. Either you were around when he did it, you were there when he did it, or you helped him along the way, or you witnessed it. But you, ma'am, had something to do with the death of her. Now, the routes in which you took is questionable, but you definitely played a role in the murder and disappearance of Asha Degree. 100%. You were there. You were definitely there. The question is, did you assist him with this? And the question is why? What was the reasoning behind it? That's the true question. But yes, you ma'am, you're definitely a part of this. Okay, in closing out this investigation, the FBI, North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation, and Cleveland County Sheriff's Office continue to work together to re-examine decades of evidence using modern technology. So the public appeal. The Degree family remains active in their annual memorial walks and continues to offer significant reward for any new information that could lead to a breakthrough in Asia's case. The digital and physical evidence. Investigators are analyzing digital evidence seized from the Dedmon properties and reprocessing physical evidence from Asia's belongings, aiming to uncover new clues that could definitely link suspects to her murder and concealment. Okay? So right now, this entire family is about to face justice for the murder of Asha Degree. Okay? That is what happened with her. This is years and years. I have all of the documents. I am going to go over them a little bit more in detail because there are some very pertinent pieces of information that plays a role in why Asia would be with these people. Why would she cross paths with these people? Lizzie's role in some things, and we're going to go over all that as well. As I told you guys, this is a very in-depth, very deep dive type of case of years, over 20 years of evidence that are now coming out to the public. Okay, so this is going to be part one. Part two, we're going to go through every single line of every piece of document that has been released. Okay, that is what's going to happen. Yeah, this is a very deep case. That car was a souvenir. And it makes me wonder, did you guys do this before? It really does. It makes me wonder because you guys were too comfortable to hide this. Now, I do know that he was known to transport patients in vehicles to these homes in which him and his wife owned, these residential establishments. Roy Lee Dedmon was known to transport patients to and from these establishments in vehicles, and they will be personal vehicles, not vehicles that actually go with the business. So this guy that passed away, hmm, and he was staying at you guys' residence, the one in 2004. I wonder were you transporting him in some point in time? You, Lizzie, and him either concocted something, something happened to where she disappeared out of her parents' home in the middle of the night. Now, that's the gap that kind of doesn't make any sense to me, because how does a 9-year-old leave the home in the middle of the night? You have a father who is up and about, noises were being heard by the brother. There is this middle of the night thing, and they're saying that no one broke into the home. Did she willingly leave the house on her own? Was she coerced to leave the house by Lizzie? You know? So those questions are going to get answered as we read a little bit deeper into the docs, okay? But that case was a lot. Putting all of that together for you guys. That case is, we're going to be digging for days with this. I think the documents reading is going to only be on the website because it's going to be long. It's about 8 search warrant documents that we're going to read over. 8. And we're going to read them line by line, detail by detail, and get that out there so that we can be fully aware of what's going to happen when it comes to the trial and prosecution of the Dedmon family. But unfortunately, family secrets are something, aren't they? I always tell people, you will be amazed of the secrets in which families are hold. And this family here held a secret of murder. And Lizzie, ma'am, I don't know who you're protecting, but it looks like Miss Lady, you're protecting you and your daddy. And to the rest of your siblings, okay, you guys are crazy. Because the way I would have told on my daddy, because what you're not about to do is pull me and mess up my family. I got children. I have family. I have a life. And what you did years ago, I am not about to go down for what you did, for what you guys played a role in just to protect you. I'm not doing it. Not when I have a children out here. But no, the whole family stuck together. Roy, Annalie, Lizzie, Sarah, Connie. You knew that your husband was murdered this young girl. And y'all stuck right beside her. Crazy. Family secrets and a drunken night of Lizzie. And her alcoholic demon that got the best of her, that made her sob randomly during a drunken night. Justice for Asia. Have you heard about the 3 children in Pontiac? Yes, I actually covered it last week. Not on here. But yes. Not on here. I did not cover it here, but yeah, we did a show over there on the Bigo side of things. Some of you guys tuned into Bigo. Did y'all want that? I didn't think that you guys wanted me to talk about that over here because I talked about it. I try not to double back on both. But yes, I did. I talked about it, in the video of the home was actually posted on my Instagram and Facebook. So yeah, I could do a quick video on it though and post it over there, give you guys my thoughts on it. But yes, I actually read the court docs as well to it too. Alrighty, guys. I gotta get ready to go. Bigo, I'm on my way to you guys. Today we're gonna be talking about a young girl that is currently missing from Toledo, Ohio. Her name is Ocean Jones from Toledo, Ohio. Her father is a well-known boxing coach, or whatever you call him, boxing trainer, boxing coach. And he has been accused of sexually assaulting multiple girls at this boxing establishment. Many victims have begun to speak out. So we're going to be doing the surviving of that story today. Okay. I'll be on my way over there to you guys. I'm running a little bit behind YouTube. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for watching True Crime with Savage RoyalT.